Good morning from Europe. Friday, April 17, and we are here with the short market update. We're going to check the political, geopolitical, economic, financial data, and whatever can affect the markets and the prices. Let's start with the geopolitical updates. Trump says Iranian accepted 20 years suspension in any nuclear activities, but Iranian they denied it. They say that the market, it's something like that. That the don't from the US side, we can see, we can hear the very positive voice about the possible meeting, the second round of the second round of negotiations after the ceasefire. They are expecting, America says that we're going to have the second round of negotiations, and they are so positive about that. But at the same time, Peter Higgs says that if the Iranian they don't come to the table and do not accept whatever we want, that can be, and that can end it with a very bad situation. And yeah, the condition is very critical. Market is somehow very cautiously positive. I'm saying very cautiously positive is because that if you look at the bigger trend, the market risk is so low compared with the previous rates. You can see VIX even under 18 on around 17.90. That's why that's why the market, the financial market in the US wall. If you go, for example, to the Wall Street and check the main indexes, you can see Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500 last night. All of them they closed between 0.2 and 0.4% with this gain, but at the same time, if you look at the futures today, they are trading very natural and somehow desired way and somehow maybe the downward. But if you look at the bigger trend, like in weekly, you can see, right, they have a very good gains, the most indexes with the new all-time high records. So generally, that's why I'm saying that the market, while the market generally is a positive and thinking maybe this war can end in these levels and somehow but at the same time, they are worried because there is nothing exactly clear. I mean, when when there is no stable, there is nothing written down. They didn't come to the table to talk both sides, so we do not still. They do not know what exactly is going to happen. That's why the situation is very critical, and maybe they can come to the some point and act on something, maybe not. So we don't know. That's the situation that we don't really know what's going to happen. So and what we that's why you can see the gold price while it's up weekly, but still is trading around $4,800. WTI prices is around $94. Crude oil, Brent oil prices around $98. I mean, a slightly higher and lower. Looking at the US dollar index, you can see the dollar index around 98.22. That's slightly lower than previous week, but still high. Because it's not 99 something, but it's not 97, it's 98.28. Actually, it's more maybe 98.3 now. Or if you look at the cryptocurrency market, you can see that Bitcoin price is $74,700 positive gain in on the weekly base. But if you look at the price to compare the price with yesterday, you can see it's down almost $1,000. Same condition you can see in other cryptocurrencies as well, like in Ripple, Ethereum, or others. And same condition even now is going on in Asia. Asian market, Nikkei, with the new all-time high printing the, I mean, they're testing the new all-time high during the week. Today is trading more than 1% lower, or Hang Seng is trading 1.2% lower. Same situation and condition you can see in other markets as well. So that's why I'm telling that while the market generally in a bigger picture is positive, yeah, in a bigger picture, the market is positive. But if you look at the short-term movements, you can see, okay, the condition is not as good as supposed to be, and the cautious is the most the most kind of the most filling or possible or the filling, yeah, you can basically the most filling in the market is being too more cautious than being positive. So the market condition is this. That's what's going on in the market and what we are expecting to see. Maybe for today also as well, today is the last day, because during the weekend, maybe we can see some positive talks between Iranian and American that can support the market sentiment, but maybe not. So that's why today I do expect the market to be more cautious during the week, during the last hours, but can hold its gains that it gained during the week. Another reason that the markets are a little bit positive also it's because of earnings. Yesterday we had amazing earnings of the Netflix, Pepsi, and also other stocks that during the week we had. Generally, so far to this week we had. Uh, Taiwan Semiconductor that yesterday we had. I mean, those are very amazing. I mean, the Netflix with more than 55% surprisingly EPS, it was amazing. Or 10%, more than 10% surprise for revenue for the Pepsi Cola. It was great news, it was a great results. But that's why the markets are somehow also you can say that they're slightly positive because it's not just about the political or geopolitical news that can move the market. At the same time, it's economic data as well. Talking about the economic data says that today is not a very busy day with the economic data. We will not have a much more data to watch. But talking about the yesterday, after yesterday update, we had inflation numbers in some European economies, especially like in Italy, which increased by 1.6%. But the mostly market watched at the Eurozone inflation numbers. CPI in the Eurozone with 1.3% surpassed the market expectations, with 1.3% monthly growth increased or jumped to 2.6% from previous 1.9%. That says lots. That says that the inflation slowly or step by step can affect the economy and other prices as well. That's why we can hear right now from European economies that they are slightly getting ready, step by step, getting ready to get more involved in the Strait of Hormuz issues, and maybe they can support and help the Americans there. This is what Donald Trump is asking or wants to see, mostly because of the geopolitical stuff. Anyhow, the things that happening there in Europe, especially with the prices, can immediately change the Europeans' outlook and expectations and just like decisions that they have against Islamic Republic in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf and generally the geopolitical tensions going on. About the geopolitical tensions, talking about the Middle East, don't forget that between Israel and Lebanon also, we have a 10-day ceasefire right now, started from last night, announced by Donald Trump. And now they have also to come to some conclusion. The Donald Trump asked the Hamas in the last points that try to be just like to hold it just like to be commitment to this ceasefire. Otherwise, things very bad things can happen to them. That's what the Donald Trump said to the Hamas, and the market is also is very cautiously looking at that. Lebanese are so happy of this, and let's see. I hope they can get to some conclusion and they can reach they can reach this final this not just the ceasefire, the peace agreement finally. Yesterday, so far, after the Eurozone inflation, the most important number that we watched, it was the Americans' data, especially the labor market data. Initial jobless claims again surprised the market with 207,000 only application to receive the unemployment benefits, while continuing claims slightly increased to 1,818,000. But still, even thought it's higher than expectations, even thought it's higher than previous week. But come on, just 1,818,000 continuing claims is amazingly low if compared with just like historical numbers. That says that U.S. labor market is really doing well. It's really doing well. Um, Same condition, just to make sure you can go and check the 4 weeks average, like jobless claims 4 week average is around 209,075 thousand. That says a lot. That says that the labor market is amazing in United States. Industrial production on the other side, just somehow I can say industrial manufacturing production, somehow I can say they're disappointed with the 0.7% only annual growth, fell by 0.5% monthly. Same negative reaction by 0.1% drop in manufacturing production, telling us that the market is not doing that well as well, while the capacity utilization rates operated at 75.7%. 75.7%, yeah, lower than 76.1% that we had in February. Natural gas storage in the United States increased, while the short-term yields also jumped higher. 4 week bill auction. In a 4 week bill auction, we see the yields up to 3.59% from 3.56% previously. In 8 weeks, yields increased to 3.61% from previously 3.57%. That says that the bond market is slightly critical, and we have to watch that more closely. So far today, we didn't have much data to watch. And generally, as I mentioned, today is very light day. So far, we had New Zealand producer price in also food price index, sorry, falling by 0.6%. Still didn't affected by the energy prices, but that's the short term. That's the short term, and we have to wait a little bit and see then how that can affect the market. Later today, the most important numbers comes from Canadian housing market, and then FOMC member speakers, especially Daly and Bartlett. And finally, the US Bakery account and the total account that can tell us about the energy market. Generally, what is going on in the market and what we are expecting to see, generally, if you look at this from this point of view. I have to say that market is still waiting for the more cautious reaction. The cautious again ahead of today's ahead of, sorry, not today. It's going to be just like during the weekend, possible talks during the week. That's going to be ahead of this. So market is very cautious. Market is very cautious, and we have to also be cautious about what is going on. So looking at the market, as mentioned, in the most risky market, we can see weekly gain, but today's closed. And that's something that we can expect to see later for today as well. More cautious ahead of possible talks between American and Iranian. That's what's happened and what we are expecting to see for today. Hope it was useful for you. Be careful. Have a good weekend. Talk to you next week, Monday. Have a good day. Bye-bye.